sounds like you're in an incredible place now with everything that you're doing. Could I ask you specifically about your time in Asia at the end of your career? I mean, we focus a lot on Asia. How do you look back on that time at Rizin now? And then I know that when you retired, you had a little spell in Bali as well. But do you feel a little bit like of bad luck at the end of your career? You fought two of the very best bantamweights in the world right at the end there in Manal Cape and Kyoji Horiguchi. How was Japan for you? How did Rizin treat you, and how did you find it? Was that a bucket list thing to go fight there? How was the whole experience for you?
Yeah, so it started off as greener pastures. Realistically, they were offering me a lot of money, more than the UFC, a good deal, almost double. And I've been doing this since 2002 professionally. I didn't want to. I never got the chance to fight in Japan. They tried to line me up with Kid Yamamoto a few times. My coach, I still have, his name tattooed on my body, Colin Oyama, famous Japanese Hawaiian guy who's gotten all kinds of fighters from Japan and to and from, I know everyone in this sport. I love this sport so much. It's been my lifelong obsession. So I finally got to go to Japan, and man, it was beautiful. I've never been. Then again, the UFC treated me amazing. I know they don't treat some people as well, but I've known these people in the UFC forever, so they've always treated me great. But the people in Japan just were different. It's just a different vibe. Forget comparing organizations, whatever. They're just different. The feeling in the fans in Japan is really cool. It's just different. That's all it is. America's cool, and UFC events, there's nothing like it. But man, Rizin, there's the same sort of feeling. There's nothing like it. UFC's not even like it. It's just a different total feel. And I was really bummed that I shouldn't have taken those last two fights. I shouldn't have taken the last lot of shit in my career because my body was just fucked. I was in and out of the hospital like a dozen times in 2 years. By the end of my UFC, it was 6 fights in a row that got canceled, and the last 3 were because of me, and the first 3 were because of somebody else. But I get blamed for all 6 because whatever. That's just how it goes. And I get to Japan and I'm ready and I feel great. I'm in great shape. And the first is the cut, and my head hit the ropes and split my head open to my bone, to the skull. And I wanted to kick the shit out of Manel Cape so bad. He was such a disrespectful little punk. I really wanted to fuck him up, and I was going to. It was just, it happens. And then the next one, I game planned so much. I knew what Horiguchi was going to do before he did it. And I walked in, switched my stance. I knew if I threw this, he would do A, B, or C. And I walked right into M. I walked into some random-ass letter I didn't even know he threw, and it flattened me. And then, 15 minutes before that, I was in the bathroom snorting Oxycontin.
Wow.
So I just, I stood up and was like, okay, this is over. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. I walked in the back of the coaches and I was like, we're done. This is over. No one's ever dropped me like that. I've never taken a shot like that and have been affected. Like, I used to take punches from everybody and just laugh. That was like half the appeal to me, I think, was you could punch me as hard as you want. I would just laugh at you and hit you back. And it's yeah, I know after seeing, some of my best friends like Chuck Liddell, seeing him get his button pushed too much, and the amount of times I've cried seeing my friends get slept. It's gonna happen once. It's gonna happen again. I'm over it. I'm out. And plus I'd already been fighting for 16 years professionally at that point. So, what's this? And I was world champion halfway in. So, like that just goes to show you, like, the cards are stacked against me. And I know even now I could cut down to 35 and I could fuck up 99% of the people for sure. I know I could probably get a title shot pretty quick. But do I want to? No. There's a caveat. If the UFC wants me to come back and beat Henry Cejudo, I'll do it. 25 or 35, you just have to pay me $1 million in cash. And pay for my training camp. But besides that, I'm good. It's just, it's I don't want to fight anymore. I don't.